Lucas Oil Pro Motocross back here at Washougal, Washington. It's time for the 450 class, but let's give you the Lucas Oil upcoming schedule in this championship. After today, only 3 races remain in 2015. Unadilla, the legendary track in upstate New York, Miller Motorsports Park in Utah, and the 2nd annual Ironman National in Indiana. And that'll wrap it up. Trey Canard returning to action today, a potential spoiler on that number 41 Honda. Find out how he does next. Well, the riders in the 450 class of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross are on their sighting lap, ready to go racing in the final moto of the day. We're going to show you what this track looks like. We've got the GoPro Hero 4 cam with Ken Roxon earlier this afternoon.
At the base of Horsepower Hill, climbing up this hill. Track probably a little more tackier now since the rain has stopped and the rider's been out. This is the top part of the track. You drop down this section, getting some decent sized braking bumps in these ruts, getting real deep, changing from moto to moto, the premium line. Sweep this right hander, then drop off, and then come to the split lane. You see Roxon choosing the outside, which now gives them the inside in the right hander.
Kawasaki Track Map picks it up.
Yeah, from there, then you go through the back part of the track, through the woods, turn right. Got to get a good drive through these rollers, point of view, over the Lucas Oil jump to the back part of the track. A couple switchbacks, right, then another sharp left. Then this right-hander where we saw Jeremy Martin throw it away in the previous moto. So this track, every corner, every straightaway, very treacherous. Coming back up towards where the mechanics area is, over that Bud Light jump, through the Fly Racing jump, past the Fran mechanics area. Have a look at the pit board, sweep left.
Mechanics preparing the starting line area, waiting for the riders to return. And after that, it's time to drop the gates and go racing.
Since Eli Tomac's shocking crash at round 3 in Colorado.
Oh no! Huge crash! Tomac is down and he's not getting up.
3 men have earned wins in the 450 class. Defending champion Ken Roxon.
And Roxon's going to come out on top. He wins High Point 2015.
Yamaha star Justin Barcia.
Under pressure the entire way, Justin Barcia wins Redbud.
And points leader Ryan Dungey.
Ryan Dungey goes 1-1 and dominates here at his home track in Minnesota.
These men have journeyed to the Pacific Northwest looking for momentum on the path to a Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship.
Well, it's quite the showdown we have here, the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Ken Roxon trying to rebound after a mini slump by his high standards. Was the Bud Light Fast qualifier earlier today, so that bodes well for his racing afternoon. Let's give you the highlights of our first 450 moto from about an hour ago. All about the Yamahas and Joe Gibbs Racing off the start recently. 6 straight hole shots for the number 51 of Justin Barcia.
Yeah, he almost throws it away there. Does a little knack, able to keep it on 2 wheels. He was running real strong out front. And then Canard coming up to a section where he actually broke his femur a few years ago. Just a little slide out, but lost a lot of valuable time. Great to see Trey back in action.
And the speed, that little mistake cost him. And these two were battling right in front of him. You have Christophe Pourcel, the white, number 377. Second, Ryan Dungey, your series leader, slices across the inside to take over the runner-up spot. But there was no one going to run down Justin Barcia in this one. He had a gigantic lead, and he had won 2 of the last 3 races coming into this, looking to make it 3 of 4 if he can do it again in the second moto. In a bit, here are your results. Pourcel holds on for 3rd. Canard, in his first race this year after an injury, finishes in 8th after that crash. Roxon a disappointing 7th. Let's send it to Georgia Lindsay, the GoPro starting gate.
Yes, the 41 of Trey Canard is definitely an interesting story with him. He's been through many ups and downs. However, this track, he went 1-1 here when he won his 250 championship a few years ago, but then he's also broken his femur twice. So it is kind of a love and hate relationship with this track. Unfortunately, that first moto, he did have that crash. However, he rebounded extremely well. So let's really keep an eye on that 41 of the factory Honda.
A lot of talk about Canard and the previous injuries he's had here, but I think that's the way normal people think. Seems like you racer types don't really think about that stuff. They're able to block it out pretty well.
Well, I think the day that comes when you think about the consequences is the day you have to retire. And Trey Canard is a true warrior and a champion, and he comes here with nothing but positive attitude. Hopefully he'll get it done.
Shout out to the privateer, Kyle Cunningham, with the privateer journey. Collects the Deltran battery tender Ricky Carmichael Hard Charger Award from last week's race in Millville. Passed the most riders of anyone. So well done, KC. Here's KTM keys to the moto.
Yeah, slick track. It's actually starting to tack up a little bit because the rain has stopped. And of course, we've seen it. You've got to stay on the bike. We've seen leaders throw it away. And of course, third one is which Roczen's going to show up. He's a reigning champion. He's had some great results this year. He's also struggled at times. First moto, not one of his best results. Let's see what happens in Moto 2.
Fly Racing 30-second card is gone. We are within 30 seconds of starting this moto. Focusing on the gates and ready to go racing. Barsha again leading them into turn one. Will he hold it all the way through?
Yes, he does.
7 straight motorsport.com hole shots for Barsha. And it's quickly Ryan Dungey up into second. So the two riders who have been fighting for the wins the last couple of weeks are ready to do it again here at Washougal. Good start for Vince Friese on the 45. Smart Top Moto Concepts machine in third.
I feel like this almost sets up a great battle between the 51 and the 5 up front, Barsha and Dungey. They've been the two guys that have been able to battle in the last few rounds. Oh, Baggett!
Little pile-up Baggett on the number 4 yellow Suzuki goes down. He got tangled. I think that might have been Freddie Noren. I'm not sure who bumped into him, but now they're all tangled up through there. Baggett is right in the center of the screen, and they cannot get around him. Hey, Jason Anderson, sorry to cut you off. Anderson has moved around Friese. He's third on that number 21 and nearly past Dungey. And in the first moto, Anderson had the fastest lap of anyone, but he had a bad start. This time he has the start, and he's in contention. Now, a great day so far for Joe Gibbs Racing on 4 wheels. Carl Edwards won the Sprint Cup pole for tomorrow's Brickyard 400. Kyle Busch won again in the Xfinity Series, and Barsha won the first 450 moto here at Washougal an hour ago. So JGR trying to basically sweep everything they're competing in today, both in Indianapolis and here in Washington. Ryan Dungey's the guy that's going to try to mix that up.
Well, it's just showing that the Gibbs organization know how to pick their athletes. A lot of success, whether it's on 2 wheels, 4 wheels, or, you know, in Joe Gibbs' case, throwing the football. He seems to know what he's doing. Great operation to run over there. Barsha leads lap 1. Dungey in second.
Ken Roczen up to third now. Where did he come from?
He put the pedal to the metal on that lap. He gained about 3 positions. I think I had him around 6th, exiting turn 1. And Roczen knows these are the 2 guys he wants to run with and battle with. So in order to do that, you got to get around some of the other guys just a little bit quicker. No disrespect to them, but you want to win this race. These are the guys that are, you know, run the pace to win it. It's going to be a great moto. 3 of our basically fastest 3 riders in the series at the moment, running 1, 2, and 3. Dungey obviously wants to win this, and if he wins the moto, not only does he get the overall, but he will be the winningest rider at Washougal in history, which is a really impressive feat, because a lot of the tracks, Ricky Carmichael has got the most victories everywhere. This is not one of Ricky's favorite tracks, but Ryan Dungey, he's ridden really well here. Keep the pressure on Barsha.
And I think Roczen's the fastest rider of this group. He keeps getting closer and closer every time we see them. Roczen and the Suzuki folks did a lot of work in California this week testing. Did some changes to the forks, whatever they've done. First moto wasn't great in the mud, but it is working superbly now as he's got both Dungey and Barsha inside. They drop down in front of the view of the fans. They come to life. Split lane. Dungey starts on the outside, ends on the inside. Can he make the pass? A little mistake by Barsha, but he's still able to steal him off.
Great drag race there. I think if Dungey had a couple feet gap, he could have taken him. And look at this. Roczen now, he joins the party. We got a 3-way battle for the lead. Oh, wow, this is going to be a great race. So much time left, and the heavy hitters, 3 brands, 3 riders from 3 different parts of the world. We got Ryan Dungey from Minnesota, you got Justin Barsha from upstate New York, and Ken Roczen from Germany.
It's a different Ken Roczen, though, than the one we've seen the last couple of weeks. That 7th in the first moto, well, that was a muddy one, so you never know what's going to happen there. But last week, he had these guys in sight early in the moto, and they got away from him. This time, he's actually rolled up on them. I know it's early, but impressive speed from Roczen to close the gap, and he's now just as close to Dungey as Dungey is to Barcia. 25 minutes and 2 laps of what should be a phenomenal battle between the 3 riders who've proven to be the fastest right now in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross.
Oh, this is what we always want to hope to see, especially when you are sitting in the booth having to call a great race.
Roczen trying to find ways around Dungey now, trying to set him up, trying to find some different lines. And while these two are hooked up, Barcia is actually inched away just slightly from Dungey. They were closer the last time through here. They got this roll-off jump.
And we've said this all day long, Jason. In these conditions, you see those gaps. They have a little ebb and flow to them.
Yeah.
They'll close up, spread out, go back and forth. It's all about nailing every corner for every, on every lap, and it's hard to do it in this. And Roczen, wow, look at that corner speed up the inside. He looks hungry, he looks motivated. And just getting back to what you were talking about, Jason, doing some testing on that Suzuki. They have the air forks. Showa using air forks, and what that is, it almost replaces a spring, uses airs, compression, has a slightly different feel. I haven't had much experience on it, but I know, talking to a lot of the top riders, it's not a much better or worse or anything. It's more the feel. So for some of these guys, just trying to get a feel back to where they feel comfortable, where they know what that front end's going to do on every piece of surface. And Dungey,
wow. Dungey almost made the pass. I thought Roczen was going to get Dungey, and then Dungey almost gets Barcia. Going to try to cross him up. Dungey from outside to inside, now the right side, trying to make the move. And Roczen right there as well. The faithful here at Washougal come to life. These folks have sat in the rain for 4 hours, and that's all going to pay off for them now.
And if you're Justin Barcia, you're going to have to switch that line and that chicane and go to the outside, because if not, when Dungey is right up behind him, I think he can get it done. Barcia using some outside lines. Dungey switching it up a little bit, going back to some of the, you could call normal lines, but in the mud, sometimes it's unorthodox because they are the deepest and the roughest. But it's a shorter way around the track. And at this point, Roczen just watching this battle unfold in front of him. But this is what the fans want to see. This is what we all want to see. A great battle between 3 riders, 3 different brands, 3 different walks of life. 3 riders with different intentions right now. Dungey wants a title. Barcia just wants to win. And Roczen wants to just prove, hey, the reason I have the #1 plate is I was the best rider last year. Hey, Georgia, what do you got for us on the #1?
Yeah, speaking to Ken Roczen this morning, we know it's been a frustrating season for him. He's had ups and downs with injuries and also trying to get that bike set up. And he said this morning, Thursday, they managed to try and get a good setting on the bike. However, he only got 2 laps in after they actually found that setting. So he said this morning was still trying to get that bike set up, but he seemed happy.
Didn't show in the first moto, but I think this is much more like it. That was a mud race, so really hard to figure out exactly how things are going to work. Really, the bad start almost does you in immediately there. It has nothing to do with how the bike works. Here, we're seeing some genuine speed from Roczen, although Dungey has pulled away from him a little bit, and now he's going after Barcia again on the inside in this left-hand corner. Barcia just beats him to the apex.
See, Barcia had a little look over the crest of that jump. He knew Dungey was right there. He could hear him. He could feel him. He could feel the pressure. So Barcia, with all the pressure on his shoulders, he's got 2 of arguably the fastest guys in the world right behind him.
Here's that section, and Barcia is going to change his line. He's now starting on the outside instead of the inside. So Dungey changes in reverse. We'll see if Roczen can take advantage. So nice job by Barcia to adjust the line. 2 laps in a row. Dungey almost got him there. Barcia switched it up, and now he's got about 5 bike lengths on the #5.
Well, Barcia cannot hear what we're saying, but he figured out that the other line was working better. Outside going to that chicane, which gives you the inside. In other words, protects the exit of the corner and your position. What a great battle back and forth between the front 3.
Roczen right there, putting some heat on Dungey. Every time you think you got it figured out, they change it. The only thing that hasn't changed, Barcia has been the leader from the start. How long can he hold on? Tonight, Premier Boxing Champions returns to primetime on NBCSN as Bebut Shumanov faces veteran contender BJ Flores in Las Vegas. That's the Premier Boxing Champions tonight at 9 Eastern on NBCSN. Blake Baggett, Ryan Dungey signing autographs out here. That's all part of the admission price. No extra charge for him. And Lucas Oil Pro Motocross will come and join us in New York Utah or Indiana at one of our remaining 3 races. And we have a fight on the track right now. Justin Barshaw, the number 51, Joe Gibbs Racing Yamaha, just holding off the Red Bull KTM of Ryan Dungey, and the Soaring Eagle Jimmy John Suzuki of Ken Roczen back there in 3rd. Pick 'em at this point. I can't figure out who's the best out of this trio. They've all had their moments in this race. And we got plenty of time left, 18 minutes and 2 laps. Now remember, we've been giving these guys credit as the 3 fastest guys in this game right now, but we would be amiss if we did not mention Eli Tomac, who was absolutely dominating everyone at the beginning of the year, won the first 5 motos of the season with huge margins and was leading again here in the 6th moto in Colorado until this crash resulted in double shoulder injuries. He's out for the season, but visiting us today, Georgia has Eli Tomac.
Yeah, that's probably something you really do not want to see. But Eli Tomac, we cannot forget about you and your dominating start to the season. How's the recovery going on both the shoulders?
At this point, it's a lengthy recovery time. I mean, it's 4 to 5 months right now. And for me, I'm just happy that I can get around now, because at one point I was in 2 slings. So I thought I'd come out to a race and watch the guys go at it and just spend some time at the track. So, you know, hopefully I'll be back on the line at Anaheim 1 in January.
It must be really frustrating watching the riders and watching great races right now. But what do you think of the Barsha, the Dungey, the Roczen battle we've got going on?
I think it's cool to see Barsha get into the mix there, you know, so and even pull off a couple of wins. And obviously they're going at it right now with Dungey and Ken up there. So the track itself today has come around a lot since the first moto, so it's shaping up to be pretty good.
Well, it's great to have you here. Thanks, Eli.
Yeah, I got to talk to Eli about a week ago. He said maybe mid-November, potentially, before he's back on a motorcycle. So he's going to have a very short time to be ready for Monster Energy Supercross in January. We wish him the best, and it would have been awesome to have him in this to make it a potential 4-rider fight. But right now, Justin Barsha, who 2 or 3 times I thought Ryan Dungey had the line to get around him. Barsha has actually pulled away just a little bit, and Dungey has distanced himself from Roczen. So we'll check in with 4th place, Weston Pike. And Jason Anderson makes the pass on him.
I was just going to say, Anderson got a great run through the rollers. Right when we saw Pike, he made a mistake. So Jason Anderson had great pace at the end of the first moto. Didn't have the start that he would have wanted. Puts himself into 4th place, but unfortunately for him, about 13 seconds to get to the rear wheel of Ken Roczen. That's going to be a tough one with Alpha Moto to go. But Anderson giving everything he's got.
I believe Anderson had a mistake early in this one. We saw him in 3rd in the first lap, and he almost made a move on Dungey, and then suddenly we didn't see him at all. And Roczen took over 3rd place. So Anderson has not been a speed issue today. Bad start in the first moto, and that early mistake in this one. Working his way back through 6th in the first race, now 4th ahead of Pike. And another one of the Auto Trader Toyota Yamaha riders, Phil Nicoletti, comes through in 6th. So the Joe Gibbs Racing team has 1st, 5th, and 6th right now. Christophe Pourcel is next on the Rockstar Husky here, the white 377. Solid 3rd in the first moto. 7th right now. He would actually be tied with Roczen in overall points for the day. They'd each have a 3rd and a 7th. Roczen would get 3rd based on the tiebreaker, the better 2nd moto. Great day for Vince Freese here, the number 45, the Smart Top Moto Concepts machine. Josh Grant on the 33, Monster Energy Kawasaki, and Trey Kennard. Where did Kennard come from? Sticking the wheels in there, trying to make the pass. And all this action we have had, it feels like we've been racing for a while as Grant tries to beat Kennard to the inside. See who comes out top of this battle. Grant's going to hold off Kennard, but anyway, so much has happened. We've only raced for 15 minutes. 15 minutes to go. Enough time for you to call Geico and save 15% or more on your insurance, or time to just watch some great motocross here. Lots of great action. These guys have had good races. Not so good for Kennard earlier in this one. Another wash to the front end going up a jump earlier in this race. And a little worse the situation actually for Brock Tickle, who's normally very consistent. Watch the left side of your screen.
Same section. Actually, same roller. Kennard lost it going up it. Tickle lost it going over it, and he's in a blind spot trying to get to his bike.
Yeah, it took Tickle a long time to get going. He's back in 26th right now, whereas Kennard here in the middle of your screen, red 41, factory Honda, is 10th. That's just the difference in crashing on the face of a jump where everybody can see you, and you're not going to get run into. And Tickle's on the downside where no one can see him, so we had to be extra cautious. Freezy on the 45, dealing with Kennard. Then it's Grant and Freddie Doran, Kennard's teammate, is the fourth rider in this group. You'll see him in this battle as well. So a good fight. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. It's a beautiful place to come hang out in the Pacific Northwest in the summertime. Justin Barsha continues to lead this Peterson Cat National here at Washougal Motocross Park just outside of Portland, Oregon. And Barsha has been so strong lately, and that has started with his starts. 6 straight motorsport.com hole shots. Here's how he got it in this race.
Yeah, another great jump. This time it's more convincing. Gets to the inside. He's got the line right there. You know, if he doesn't make a mistake in the first turn, all done and dusted. Beautiful power slide. Barsha, once again, man, those starts are just really helping him out because you see Dungey just battling to get around him.
And we asked Barsha earlier today what has been the recipe to be nailing all these starts as of late. Here's what the number 51 had to say.
Yeah, hole shots for me have been really good. Been putting myself in a really good position, but just got my bike dialed good. You know, the motor's really fast, obviously, but you have to have a controllable, you know, launch off the start, and I've been able to work with my bike and myself and just get my starts dialed.
And talking to the team earlier in the year, Barsha transitioned over as a pretty much lifetime Honda rider to the Yamaha. At the beginning of the season, kept asking for less power to make the bike easier to ride and more manageable. And I think now they're back to a little bit more of a high horsepower package. Obviously, it's good in the start, but I'm sure you can comment on it. You can make these bikes get unbelievable starts, but then it gets hard to ride everywhere else, so it's that balance.
Well, it's everything. I mean, all these bikes are producing great horsepower, and it's all about how you get it to the ground. So like Justin Barsha said, he's got the motorcycle with the power and everything he needs, the team around him, but it comes down to him executing the procedure that he has. Every rider has a different start technique, their motions they go through before the gate drops, all of those things. And I think a lot of it comes back to the confidence. And now that he's confident, I think when he lines up, he feels, he envisions that he's going to round that first turn in the lead. And he's done it now 6 times in a row. That's pretty incredible.
Well, there was a time in the 250 class that I felt Barsha was the best starter in the group, but it's been a while since he's nailed these types of starts. Been a couple of years, but now it's ex-muscle memory. Every time it goes along, like you said, mentally, it's easy to visualize yourself doing it when you've done it 6 straight times, and now he's trying to take that start and turn it into finishing on top. And you're watching Lucas Oil Pro Motocross here. We're going to have a weekend off, and they'll be back. NBC will cover the Unadilla National Round 10 of the 2015 championship Saturday, August 8th. It's going to be really exciting. The legendary track in upstate New York. Been racing there for 40-plus years, and that would be home turf for this rider, Justin Barsha. Born and raised in upstate New York. Actually, born in New Jersey, so I can give my Garden State credit. Lived in New York as a rider growing up. Now, like most of these athletes, has a training grounds in Florida so they can ride in the heat and humidity throughout the summer. Although Barsha spent a lot of this summer actually in North Carolina with the Joe Gibbs Racing team at their track. Here's Dungey in second, not able to sustain that pace. At one point, the gap was 2.7 seconds the last 2 laps. Barsha has pulled away about a second quicker the last time around, a 2:17 versus a 2:18. So Dungey back to second. And won that race last week in Minnesota. And busy man. Had a lot going on there with the Minnesota Major, which was a charity event to raise money for St. Jude. And pretty cool that he was able to actually go out there and do some running the day after winning a motocross race, which is physically taxing enough. There's another guy that was feeling bad that day, but still stepped it up and did it. You yourself, Grant Langston, nicely done.
I didn't feel that bad that day. I just felt a little rough a couple days after.
Okay.
Great atmosphere, kids, a lot of cool things going on, a lot of money raised.
There it is,
133,000 plus. What a fantastic event.
There's Dungey and his wife Lindsay there on the left side of your screen. We talked to Ryan about the event earlier this weekend.
Last Sunday we had the 3rd annual Minnesota Major, and it was a success. You know, we raised $133,000 for St. Jude, And with all the partners and everybody who showed up, it was a fun day. It was good to get together and everybody support a good cause. And it's cool to see everything keep growing and everybody getting behind it. And a lot of commitments for next year as well. So we're going to be ramping up for that. But it's good to help, good to give back, and just really thankful for all the people who got behind me on this and all my sponsors for a special day.
All right, good work by Ryan, but he's got to get back to what pays the bills for him, which is winning motocross races, and he's closed up again on Justin Barsha. Oh, there's Grant Langston making it happen.
I only look happy because I was crossing the finish line.
The athlete smoked me. You're a world and national motocross and supercross champ. You're an athlete too. Give yourself some credit. Barsha trying to hold Dungey off down the stretch here. All right, Ryan Dungey still on the charge here, second place. Last time around, he ran a 2:15 lap time. That is the fastest of anyone. Barsha just ran his best lap, but that was a 2:16, so the track is getting faster. The intensity is picking up. Oh, Barsha, hold on to that thing. Barsha down. Barsha has fallen, and Dungey takes the lead. Barsha almost held on to it, and just like that, Ryan Dungey into the lead.
That has got to be frustrating for Justin Barsha. Let's have a look at this replay. Barsha comes in the turn. You know he's pushing. He's feeling the pressure deep down from Ryan Dungey. Gets in this turn. This we're talking about the hardest braking zone. Gets in. Watch. Oh, the front washes early. Steps it up. Gets basically his weight balanced to the outside, which is not where you wanted. Dungey going, thank you very much.
Oh, Barsha doing everything right. Leads every lap of the first moto. Had Dungey about 2 seconds back there here in this second moto, and time is running out. And he almost saved it. That's the frustrating part. He made the big mistake. I thought he was going to keep the motorcycle under him. Not going to happen. Now Dungey to the lead. See, the countdown clock will expire now, and that'll be 2 laps to go for Dungey the next time they come through. But that's how Dungey does it. Persistence, persistence, persistence. He doesn't let you go. And if you make a mistake, he's there to take advantage. But don't count Barsha out yet. He is a man possessed back there in second. Look at this. Feet off the pegs, hanging off the side of the motorcycle.
He is not happy with himself. You can tell it. He's going to punish his own body for his own mistake. He is going for it. I can always tell when Bosch is an angry rider. The RPM on those bikes, it goes from a slight rev, over rev, to a just massive over rev on the rev limiter. He wants to go for this. He won that first moto. He was looking good. He sustained the pressure from Dungey throughout. Oh!
And that's what happens when you're riding as hard as he is. Yeah, shaking the head. He knows that's probably going to do it.
You know, they say,
what an effort.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You ride as hard as you can. Bosch has given everything he's got the last several rounds. I'm talking 3 or 4 rounds. He's going to be disappointed, but I would look from the outside, whether I was a team manager, his mechanic, or a family member or a friend, and say, you can't be mad when you've given everything you've got and you make those little mistakes. That happens when you're riding on the edge. But you can tell Justin Bosch that all you want. He's going to just look at it as, I blew it. I blew it. I had it. I should have won it. But all credit to Ryan Dungey. Every time you wonder, can he win? He's going to win it. He's going to take the points. What's he going to do? He's about to cross the line for the white flag. Nope, not this time. 2 to go.
Yeah, 2 to go. As he puts, I think that's what Leslie did. He's about to put a lap down there. Michael Leslie joining us, hasn't raced Lucas Oil Pro Motocross since 2013. It's good to see Mike back. Talked to him a bit yesterday, but certainly not the moto he wants here, running in 19th. Dungey gets by, and I know they call Dungey the Diesel. I said it before, I like to call him the bar. He just sits the bar at a very high level. Again, it's possible sometimes for people to get over it, but the risks you have to take to get over that bar, we've seen that exact scenario happen so many times, and almost never is Dungey the one making the mistake. That's other guys. That was a comparatively small one. Barsha's not hurt or anything like that. But this is just the way Dungey does it. He runs his pace the entire race. Makes it very hard on someone else to outduel him. And they will tie on points as you look at the top of the screen. Both Barsha and Dungey will have a moto win and a second this afternoon. But the tiebreaker goes to the better second moto. And that would give Dungey the overall. It would make him the winningest rider ever here in Washougal, Washington. It'll be the 7th time between the 250 and 450 classes that Dungey has won. It'll be the 5th time in 6 years that he has won in the 450 class. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty incredible stat right there.
a rare moment where actually someone is breaking one of Ricky Carmichael's records. Carmichael and the great Jeff Ward had 6 wins here at Washougal, and Dungey was tied with them coming in. And as we said, last week was his home race in Minnesota, but I think this track is actually even better for him than that one. And it was tough. Barsha had him on the ropes for sure. He's going to be frustrated with that. Ken Roxon, by the way, is still about 10 seconds behind Barsha, so not a real challenge for second. And they're saying that there might actually be a tie for second at points between Barsha and Roxon when the day is over. Barsha has rallied from way back, finished 11th, I believe, at our opener in Hangtown. Actually was in the fence, crashed, went off the track. The first moto of the year was a real struggle. And for Barsha, when he finished on the podium, top 3 at our second race, he was just happy to be in the top 3 today. Second place, I don't think he's going to be happy this time.
Well, not when you were that close to getting another victory. You know, it's like you said. It's hard to hear sometimes guys saying they're happy to be on the podium. Other times they're mad with the second. But it all comes back to the circumstances. And Barsha believes he can win, and he believes that he can go out and beat Ryan Dungey straight up. And that's what you have to believe as a racer. Whether that happens or not is a different story, but you have to believe deep down, hey, I'm good enough to go out and win. And Ryan Dungey just doesn't have to win another race this year. I mean, he just has to finish them, in other words. But a true racer and champion he is, he's going to push till the end. See, he takes a little look over the shoulder, just making sure, maintaining, sees the gap. When he comes out of that turn, he can see Barsha heading up past the mechanics area. So that's a rider's way of just gauging the gap, knowing, hey, I'm doing just enough, meaning they don't want to push too hard and risk crashing or getting injured, but you don't want to just get too conservative and have an angry Justin Barsha coming up on you.
And he's still trying, still pushing. That's just Barsha's style. Even backed off for Barsha. Looks out of control at times. And remember, the next race is going to be the home track for him at Unadilla, though it's a little bit different, the circumstances at Unadilla. They only race at that track for the Pro National. So, unlike Millville last week, where Dungey actually rode that track as a kid, as an amateur, Barsha didn't get to go and ride the Unadilla track until he was a pro, just like anyone else. Now, I'm sure the soil might be a little familiar for him, because he's used to riding that type of dirt. He's going to have a lot of people cheering for him. Maybe the atmosphere is going to help.
Still threw a whip out on the last lap by that jump. So I think he knows, he gave it everything, he's happy. Dungey cannot be happier than the way this day turned out. I'm sure First Moto would have loved to have won that one as well, but at the end of the day, it's all about points. Takes another win into the record books, closing up on James Stewart, second overall on the all-time win list.
Yeah, be 48-42 after this one, as Dungey's looking at his 4th overall win of the season, and further extending his points lead as he's trying to win this 450 Motocross Championship for the 3rd time in his career. Ryan Dungey wins Washougal for the 7th time, making him the all-time leader in wins at this racetrack. And the fans saluting, a job well done. Might not be his home track, but it sure seems like he owns it the last few years. Folks, you can go to motorsport.com to get your official series gear for the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, as well as a whole bunch of other cool stuff for your motorcycle or for yourself to wear while you're riding your motorcycle. We have completed the action here at Washougal, Washington, and we'll show you what it looked like at the Lucas Oil race recap coming here. Justin Barsha, 6 straight hole shots on the Autotrader.com Toyota Joe Gibbs Racing Yamaha. Quickly, Ryan Dungey, the number 5, would move into second and put some heat on. And also, you got to watch for Ken Roxon. Soaring Eagle Jimmy John Suzuki in 3rd. They all kept the heat on Barsha, and then this mistake cost Barsha the lead.
Yeah, it cost him. And after that, you know Dungey's just going to set sail, which he did. Barsha tried really hard. He attacked the track, tried to close that gap up. But I think the harder he tried, the more mistakes he made. Right there. Back on the gas, does never let off, but Ryan Dungey takes the moto victory as well as the overall, and he is now alone as the winningest rider at the Washougal National, and furthermore, extends his points lead.
Christophe Porcel fights back for 5th in this moto. That's going to loom large in the overall. Should be 3rd for the day. Roxon ends up 3rd in this one. Let's send it to Georgia.
Yes, huge congratulations. Ryan Dungey, you took the overall of the day, but it was a day of ups and downs. Most winningest rider here at Washougal. But goodness me, that last couple of laps, that must have been pretty interesting.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we got off to a good start, and Barsha, he's riding good. You know, there's no doubt about it, and so it makes it tough. You know, he's not going to be easy to pass or anything like that. He's going to be there to the end. But, you know, I lost a little time with those lappers, was able to kind of start inching back up, but, you know, just try to keep the pressure on him, you know, and he did make a mistake, so we just capitalized on that and then just try to really sprint away at the end to get away. But, yeah, it's nice to get another win. You know, it's been a lot of fun. You know, this track's been, I got my very first outdoor win here, so it's very exciting. A lot of good times, and Team Red Bull, KTM, everybody, my wife, mom and dad, the whole crew. I got to thank Fox for the sweet kit this weekend, and definitely the Lord Jesus Christ keeping us safe.
And huge congratulations for last weekend too, with the Minnesota Major. That must have been fun and pretty hard doing you know, a race, winning, and then going to do a bike ride and a run.
No, absolutely, and I say this humbly. It was a great day. You know, we raised $133,000, and I can't thank everybody who showed up, all the support and commitment from their side, and especially my sponsors. And so, you know, we're helping save lives, you know, and it's very humbling. And, you know, look forward to next year. We already got kicked off the plans for, already started talking about next year. So if you can make it, plan on it.
Will do. Well, huge congratulations. Ryan Dungey with the overall win here at Washougal.
Yes, the plans are in motion for your entire broadcast team to make the event next year. There's Purcell, we mentioned, edging out Roxon for third overall. That'll be the second podium of the year for him. Nicoletti, top 5 today, just ahead of his teammate Pike, so a good day for the JGR folks. Norin, 7th overall. Always does well at this track. Kennard, welcome back with an 8th. Baggett had that crash early in Moto2, comes back for 12th or 9th overall. Grant, top 10 for the second week in a row on the Monster Cowie. Let's send it back to Georgia.
Wow, Justin Barsha, what an unbelievable day. Your speed was absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, that little mistake, that really must have crushed you, but you've got to be a little bit proud of yourself.
Proud but very disappointed. That mistake really blew it. You know, I think I had that race. You know, I was charging hard. Ryan rode a super good race, but I can't thank my whole team enough, the whole Trader Toriyama team, Monster, Alpine Stars, just everyone for sticking behind me. And we're getting better and better. Today we should have won, but this is motocross, and this is what happens, especially when you're racing great guys like these. It's tough for sure.
Well, huge congratulations, second overall, Justin Barsha.
Hey, it's we say all the time, hashtag this is Moto, and that's what happens, those mistakes down the line. And the point standings, as we said, Barsha and Roxon now deadlocked in a fight for second. And Baggett and Purcell 4th and 5th. A tough day for Anderson, who loses a spot in the standings. Let's send it to Georgia.
I know we always end up talking about whether a track has got a European style to it or not. This kind of did, but Unadilla's coming up, and that really does. But congratulations, 3rd overall here. What was your thoughts on the day overall?
You know, the track was good today. Pretty good day for me. Second moto, I got a bad start, so I got to walk on there. So I think I was I leaned on the back of the back a little bit too much. So I think I made a mistake on that. So you know, with the team we talk a lot, and I had to put a charge, you know, because they give me 100%, and the bike, the Husqvarna bike is the factory, and Rockstar Energy, they're just amazing, and they, you know, I hope to keep going with those guys for the next few years, and I feel amazing with the team, so I'm happy to be on the podium. It's good.
Great to see you so happy, Christoph. Congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Always good to have some fast guns back in the game with Purcell. Here's your upcoming schedule. Only 3 races remain in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. We'll have a highlight show from this event at Washougal Thursday night. And then Unadilla is our next event after a weekend off. MAV TV, NBC, and NBCSN will have the coverage of that. And Georgia actually has our series champ. Georgia?
Yes, Ken Roxon 3rd in that last moto. We've always talked about it being an up and down year for you, but you did some testing last week. Do you think you're making improvements on getting your bike set up to how you want it?
Yeah, we're taking it step by step. We definitely made an improvement, but I'm going to watch the moto. I think we can definitely get a lot better. You know, it's still a bit shaky. So, but overall, you know, the Soaring Eagle Jimmy John's Factory Suzuki team has been helping me out a lot. And big, huge thanks to Ram Trucks, Bell Ray, Red Bull, Oakley, GoPro, Fox, and Stan Stocks for sticking behind me. You know, we're trying to put in a lot of work, and you know, some seasons are bad. We have been struggling with injuries and then a lot of stuff, but I'm going to keep my head up. I'm going to keep charging, and we're going into another off weekend, and all I can do is put in hard work and see where we're at and finish off the season strong.
Always positive, Ken Roxon. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, Georgia. You know, we start every year off talking about what a long season is as Dungey debriefs with the Red Bull KTM folks, and you see he continues to climb closer and closer to maybe get James Stewart for second all-time, but next year, good chance Stewart will be back out here trying to get some more wins of his own.
That'll be interesting. I can't wait, actually.
And we say it's a long season every year, and we've seen the tales of two halves of the year. Cooper Webb coming on strong late. Justin Barcia as well, challenging your champions and your championship contenders. It all led to great racing. Congrats to Ryan Dungey and Cooper Webb for taking the wins. For Georgia Lindsay and Grant Langston, I'm Jason Wygant. We'll see you in 2 weeks from Unadilla.